Welcome to Kicks Gaming. This is Papa Kicks. Today we're going to be looking at Arena and a tip that I figured out that applies to any team that will help you win. It'll become clear as you watch. So right now, it is AoE DPS. This is one of my better teams. So I have a decent chance of winning as long as my opponent doesn't have better units and gear. It will work just fine to demonstrate what we're talking about. So for now, I'm going to refresh, see if we can get a good team to demonstrate on. So there's some units I don't like fighting against because they're just too strong. So this guy only has one strong AoE unit, and his battle power is pretty high, so we might not win it, but I'll still be able to demonstrate what we need. So I'm going to hit play. This is my team. I have Vierna, who's my powerhouse DPS and wins most of the games. I have her Lord faction unit for the only reason that it buffs her. I have Dolores, which buffs Vierna, and then two melee heroes that do decent to AoE. So that's my team, but again, this is not team specific. So let's get started and you'll see what I'm talking about. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that it's set to 1x speed. 2x speed is too fast and is counterproductive. So we're at 1x, so we're good to go. So the first thing is the exact moment this hits 20, we want to put up Vierna. If you wait till 21, then you're wasting damage. So that was good. One of the things that I want to discuss is that when you're dragging, everything is in slow motion, which gives you a little bit of time to be able to place things in a little bit better if you need to. So I'm going to go ahead and place Dolores. And next up is ultimates. So if you click on a unit, it also goes to that slow motion. And what this does is it allows us to use the ultimate at the exact moment it's ready. So 100 rage is probably a little bit too much to wait for, so we can click off and let it build up a tiny bit more. And I'm going to leave it slow motion for a minute. So one thing that you need to do is decide whether you're going to go for your win or plan for your loss. So in this case, I may or may not win this fight regardless of whether I use the ultimate. So I could in theory save it for the next round. But I personally like to make it so that I'm going to plan for a stronger team that's going to beat me. So as soon as this ultimate is ready, I'm going to use it. If the other team is stronger than me, I might wind up using that ultimate when there's no enemies in sight on the autoplay, and it's a waste, it backfires. So that's one of the other things is whatever you play becomes your auto fight. So ideally you want to get all of your units out and all of your ultimate timings perfect. I've had times where I've won after 2 waves and only had 2 units out. And that is not good because then when I'm auto fighting, that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm only going to place those 2 or 3 units and the rest is wasted and I'm going to lose most of those defensive battles. So if you do wind up winning very quickly, it's recommended that you play again and do a better auto battle. So just be careful of what you save as your auto fight. And in theory, we should have done Dolores' ultimate right when it was ready, but I was busy talking and didn't do so. Hopefully it doesn't matter, but the point is to show you how this works, so I don't have to get it perfect on this run. So as Vierna gets closer, I think I'm going to win before her ultimate is ready. But yeah, so we only have a tiny bit left and we're going to win. Maybe. I don't know how much. Oh, okay, they have full health on theirs, so we're definitely going to win here. So I'm actually going to save the ultimate for the next round, which I don't really have a choice to anyway. Wasn't ready until then. My last unit is going to be him, and I'm going to place him directing forward. That's because there's going to be enemies in that spot, and they won't get hit. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is when to use your ultimates. So right now, none of the enemies are in range, and if I click this, it'll actually tell me that none of the units are in range and I can't use the ultimate. One way to know when they are in range is when your character starts their attack animation. So right there, if you saw Vierna is starting her attack animation, and that means they're now in range. That's not useful information for AoE Arena, but it is useful for single target, things like that. So I'm saving her ultimate until everything is in the room, and then we're going to execute it. And for sure, we're not going to get the Lord unit into this battle. So I could wait for these last two units or use it now. And they're close enough where I think I'm going to wait. But yeah, so the whole point of this is to micromanage to the very millisecond when you use your ultimates and place your units. And that will help you guarantee more wins. If it was a close call, it could push it towards a win. If you weren't even close, you probably weren't going to win anyway. But this applies to every team. AoE, anti-air, anything. You can use this in all of them. So we're going to max out Dolores' ultimate. Ideally, we would use Dolores' ultimate when other units' ultimates are also ready, but they weren't even close, and I don't want to waste Dolores' ultimate. And his is actually ready, so I'm going to place him anyway. He's not going to get Dolores' buff, but he's not really there for damage either. And there we go. So he had almost 100,000 more battle power, and I still won. It's probably because of my units, but it still doesn't matter. It's best to play your best regardless of the units you have. And we can take a look, and my Vierna absolutely dominated that battle. So, there you go. Use this on all of your arena teams, and you should get more wins. I will see you tomorrow. Maybe. Papa Kicks out.